All right, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Mark of Balance. My name is Mark, and today I'm going to be talking about the Obi Wan trailer, finally, as well as all the news that has come out over the past week or two from the various interviews that we got that accompanied the reveal from Entertainment Today. So I know I missed out on the almighty algorithm, but the silver lining is that I can now talk about all the rumors, fan reactions, and interviews in this one episode, which I'm really excited about. So let's jump into this trailer, and the best way I can describe it is that it was surreal. And I think surreal is the best term to describe the feeling that I had watching this trailer. Seeing Ewan as Obi-Wan, hearing Ewan as Obi-Wan was such a, is this really happening moment? So many fans have wanted this story for years. All the great fan-made trailers, short films, fan fiction, it is all built to this unimaginable hype and expectation. And I think all of us in the back of our head questioned if we'd ever really get this. And now it's here. And it did not disappoint in the slightest. So let's get started. The music was the star of the show in this trailer. So all my music lovers, all my score lovers, stand up, because goddamn, when Duel of the Fates hit, I audibly yelled. And I usually never physically react to stuff when I watch it. The Battle of the Heroes rendition was also fantastic. It was this much more slowed down dramatic version, which I don't really think was possible because Battle of the Heroes is about as dramatic as it can get. But I always talk about how music can tell a story for you in movies or TV in my Music Mondays posts. Hope you guys are enjoying those, by the way. And I really love the care they took to intertwine both of these critical pieces from Obi-Wan's life. The loss of his master and becoming Anakin's teacher from Duel of the Fates, and then fighting and losing that same student with Battle of the Heroes. Music has this innate ability that allows you to time travel to whatever the moment and feeling was when you first heard it. And because of that, in these moments, these two pieces elevate this trailer on much more than a surface level, which I absolutely adored. No matter what the discourse has been around the look of the Grand Inquisitor, I think his speech throughout the trailer is perfect. Calling the Jedi Code an itch that they can't help but scratch is so true. No matter how hard they try, do or do not, there is no try, Jedi can't help but help when people need it. It happens to Cal Kestis in Fallen Order, it happens to Ahsoka in her book, and I assume it happens in this series. All you have to do is be patient, cause some violence, which the Empire is very good at, and the Jedi will simply come to you. If the Grand Inquisitor continues to be written this well, I really don't care what he looks like. As long as the performance and the writing is there, he will earn a spot in this series. And for those wondering, no, I didn't like his look either. Another piece of the trailer that stuck out to me was the public hanging scene. It shows the tone and the state of the galaxy at the time. It really emphasizes that they won't be afraid to show the violence and the truly evil nature of the start of the Empire here. And I don't think we've ever seen a public hanging in Star Wars. So that was kind of like a big moment, to be honest. So I'm excited to see that really gritty side of Star Wars that we always hear about in this time period. We see it in Rebels, but of course Rebels couldn't really take it to that level. And Rogue One, I think it had some pieces of it, but here it seems like it's going to be very personal. So I'm excited for that. Also, we leave the planet, which was a surprise. And I know I'm a big hypocrite because I said I don't want to see any more Tatooine in Star Wars. But I was really expecting the show to stay contained on Tatooine to make it a more personal character story. But I'm sure there will be a good reason for it. It does allow us to see Obi-Wan using a blaster, though. So uncivilized of him. I also appreciated the hair flips he did when he was pinned down and returning fire undercover. It was really funny, but it also emphasized how he's just not built for this shootout kind of lifestyle. He needs his lightsaber. He needs to not be constrained to using these weapons of such uncivilized people. And lastly, I just love seeing the non-live action pieces of Star Wars get their respect here. Rebels characters like the Inquisitor showing up and being the main bad guys. And then, of course, the Inquisitor base from Fallen Order, which was one of my favorite missions in Fallen Order, was also shown here. It's really cool, underwater, middle of the ocean. I can't wait to see that fully realized. So now that I've talked about the trailer, let's talk about everything that accompanied the trailer, which was the news and some of the rumors that came out within the week or weeks after. I'll start with the positive, with Ewan and Hayden's bromance. They seem so genuinely happy to be back working together, and to hear that they were able to meet up after years of not seeing each other was really touching to me. Also, Ewan may or may not have confirmed that there will be Clone Wars flashbacks in this. He said Hayden was there as Anakin, and I was Obi Wan again. And I was like, wait a minute. Not that we didn't expect it, but man, that got me pumped. If there's one flashback I would like to see, it would be from the unfinished Clone Wars episode where Anakin and Obi-Wan go to Utapau, and during their mission, they discuss Ahsoka leaving the Order, which was something that just had happened to Anakin. And it's such a powerful scene, and of course, highlights Anakin's trauma, but Obi-Wan as well, because he failed Ahsoka and Anakin just as much. That action should weigh on him as well, especially at this time of his life. I'm not really sure if Ahsoka will appear in this show in some form or not, but I'm good either way. As long as this scene makes it in, I think that would be really impactful. And the other thing I want to discuss is definitely on a negative note, and it's related to something that really divided people, but it ticked me off for different reasons than it did for those people. I do want to preface this by saying that Pablo Hidalgo did come out and say that these reports were bullshit, but this was reported by Hollywood Reporter and Entertainment Today, one of those two, which are pretty reputable news sources within the entertainment sphere of media. So I think there's got to be some truth to them, but I do want to get that out there as a preface before I get into all this stuff. So it was reported that Darth Maul was the original villain for the show before rewrites. Kathleen Kennedy said the original script was too dark and they wanted something more hopeful. This obviously upset some people that wanted to see the live-action Maul again, and had Rebels on the other side rightfully saying the story had already been beautifully told in animation already, and that animation is a valid form of storytelling for the canon. But I had a completely different takeaway from the news. Obviously, I'm on the Rebels side of things, but I had a completely different takeaway, and something that really pissed me off, and it highlighted something that I've been critical of with Disney and Lucasfilm for a while, and it's this. How did an entire Obi-Wan script get written, with Maul included in it, about the time between 3 and 4 without anyone at Disney or Lucasfilm being like, hey, you know we already covered this in Rebels? And then that script being accepted all the way to the point of Ray Park actually beginning training to play Maul again. Like, the oversight and management at Disney and Lucasfilm astonishes me with the size and importance of an IP like Star Wars. This has been an issue with video games, obviously having more canceled video games than created video games. It happens with the sequels. You love them or you hate them. I am not convinced that there was a plan throughout that at all. And even Kathleen Kennedy in some of these interviews saying, oh, there may be a season 2 of Obi-Wan. I don't really what do you mean there might be? Did you not complete the story here? Did you leave it open-ended? Like, where is the planning here? It does make me appreciate Marvel so much more, and it frustrates me how Star Wars isn't on that same level of management and cohesiveness. And this kind of leads me to something that I'm going to talk about in my next episode that I've been really thinking about, and that's just leaving the Skywalker saga behind completely. All this stuff has become so convoluted, and it doesn't seem like there's any direction. And the High Republic has proven that it has been methodically planned out, at least, so far as I've read. I'm only halfway through the second main book, but we need that sort of direction in Star Wars, because right now it just feels like a mishmash of projects. Something's being announced over here, there's a new movie over here, there's a trilogy maybe still happening over here, there's 12 TV shows, 2 of them are now canceled, one of these movies is canceled, but we just brought on this new director. It's just like, the oversight does not seem there. I know we have Filoni as the new creative director, and Favreau and him having their, main storyline thing, but I'll get into all this in that other episode. But that Maul news really just baffled me, because I'm like, how did you allow someone to write a full script about something that's already been done in canon and force yourself to do rewrites? Like, was there not someone over his shoulder or her shoulder saying like, hey, we've done something similar to that, and it was perfectly done there. I don't know. It just very much ticked me off. I'm curious if it pissed you guys off too, or if you had even thought of it kind of in that context of, where's the Marvel level oversight? I'm not saying Marvel's perfect, because, Marvel's almost like homework now with the amount of things you have to watch, but I'm just saying it's very cohesive. Everything seems like it's been planned out a phase before. They have their phases. It seems like every phase they've already had planned out. And with Star Wars, it's just like, yeah, we could do a Boba Fett show. Yeah, we can maybe do a second season of Obi-Wan. I don't know. It's frustrating for me as someone that appreciates stories that are completely planned out with an end in mind, and just seeing that same respect not being shown to an IP I obviously care so much about. I have this podcast. I talk about Star Wars all the time. You think I kind of care about it a little. But yeah, sorry for the whole rant. I think it was very telling, and I thought it was something I needed to address. But I am glad it got us to the position where Vader is the new villain instead of Maul with the Inquisitors. So I am happy we're going to be able to explore Anakin and Obi-Wan much more than exploring Darth Maul again, even though we know Sam Witwer's performance will never be topped by Ray Park at all, at least acting-wise. And I think they did say that Dave Filoni was the one to say, hey, we shouldn't do Maul again. So, he was like, yeah, guys, I already told this story. Thanks. But yeah, overall, that's my thoughts on the Obi-Wan trailer and all the news that circulated around it. It lived up to my expectations, absolutely. I think it was a beautifully done trailer. I think it had that ominous tone. It had a hopeful tone at the end. I love the tagline. I think it's between like death and darkness. There's hope or something. Hope remains. I really like that tagline as well. And to be honest, I don't even need another trailer before release. Honestly, I'm good here. I don't want to know that much about the show before I watch it. I want to be surprised. I don't want to have any expectations based on visuals. I mean, the expectations for it are over the moon right now, but visually, I don't want to expect certain things. So I'm sure we'll get one about a month before end of April. I'm sure they'll release a full 2-minute, 30-second trailer. But for now, I'm satisfied. Waiting for May 25th. So excited. Should be incredible. But let me know your thoughts. I am very excited to hear from my prequel fans how you're feeling about Obi-Wan coming back as Ewan, seeing him on screen again with that beautiful beard, luscious hair, and excellent accent. I'm really looking forward to the interaction with you guys. And you can do that at my Instagram at @star_wars_mark of balance. And I'll see you guys over there. Thank you again for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, stay healthy, and may the Force be with you. Peace.